Dear friends, Shalom, Salam, Sambonani, Molweni, Domelang, Pax Vobiscum. Today, this Sunday, January 4th, 2024, we mark the 100th day since the outbreak of the current round of violence in Israel-Palestine. In these past 3 months, we've witnessed not only the calamities brought by the war to the people of the Holy Land, but also the deep turmoil and damage that this distant conflict causing to social cohesion worldwide. South Africa in particular stands among the leading countries where the pain is intensely felt, manifesting itself in the fracture between the Jewish and the Muslim communities, the abyss between pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian political camps, and the recent legal charges laid by South Africa against Israel at the International Court of Justice presented last week at The Hague. Being an Israeli who permanently resides in South Africa these days is like being a child in a family undergoing via ugly divorce. Each side goes deeper into the arguments, growing more entrenched in its convictions and moving further away from the sincere dialogue that is so desperately needed. For those unfamiliar with me, my name is Sa'ar Shaked. I'm an Israeli born in 1975, ordained to the rabbinate in Jerusalem in 2004, and moved to South Africa in 2013. Two additional biographical details about myself. Firstly, I am an independent activist. I'm not representing any Jewish organization, nor claiming to speak on behalf of the Jewish community of South Africa. Secondly, I've recently completed my training as a Sangoma, a traditional African healer, and as I'm not claiming to speak for the community of traditional healers, I am attuned and I am aware and conscious of the spiritual sickness revealed by the conflict in the Middle East and the potential for healing presented to us by indigenous knowledge systems. When I lived in Israel-Palestine, I was involved in an array of educational, cultural, and civil society endeavors for peace and reconciliation. Since my arrival to South Africa, I've taken public stands against my country's policies on a variety of occasions, often that leading me to controversy within my Jewish community. And I share this not to claim fame, but to emphasize my commitment to my fellow comrades who share this duty and this burden back in Israel-Palestine right now as we speak. In the past 3 months since October 7th, we witnessed immense pain and agony. No adjective, horrific, terrible, horrendous, dreadful, no adjective will adequately describe the suffering we've seen. And so in this short message, as I strive to navigate with such harsh and complicated conditions, it requires me to balance between the interior, the spiritual and the emotional condition, and the external, the political realities. And in this short message, I'll start with sharing with you my very basic sentiments, and then I move to some practical level relevant to the South African context. Friends, presuming we seek to be constructive, we must acknowledge that while there is no direct similarity or reciprocity between the situation of the Israelis and the Palestinians, yet no one has a monopoly on pain. Rather than assigning blame, we better strive to understand the complexity of the historical condition we've inherited. President Obama recently spoke and suggested that we maintain what appear to be contradicting ideas, considering the various truths involved: the October 7th attack, the unbearable condition of the Palestinian people, the legacy of persecution against Jews accumulating in the Holocaust during World War II, and the madness of anti-Semitism as he defined it. To find the truth, it's essential for us to be inclusive, to recognize that strong convictions and demonizing one side over the other won't lead to a solution. Our growth as human beings occurs through encounters that challenges our identity. When we are called to listen carefully, to open our heart to the other, to his stories, to its truth, to its pain, only by doing so we respect our shared human character created in the divine image. This is not an intellectual exercise or a theoretical principle. People suffer and die as we speak. It's about honesty. It's about opening one's heart. It's about soul searching. What we came to this world to do. Achieving genuine justice, lasting peace, demilitarization, denationalization, and democratization of the Middle East, committing to deep reconciliation and healing of the Middle Eastern community. These are all massive tasks, impossible for any of us alone. However, none of us free to ignore this responsibility. For if we stand idle, Jah will provide and others will step in. Yet, South Africa has the capacity to provide not only solace and relief, but also a real example of nation building and restorative justice. South Africa, for an array of historical, moral, and cultural reasons, is intertwined with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. This is a clear political fact. Despite of not being a former or current imperial power, despite of not having a direct involvement in the realms of army, land, or goods, yet South Africa can offer a crucial, practical perspective that the Middle East desperately needs. And here I come to the second theme of my address, the practical one, in which I'd like to share an institutional mechanism, a permanent organizational instrument, a South African ongoing commission to the Middle East, which could act as a pivotal force in promoting peace, justice, and reconciliation. You see, friends, many South Africans are involved in actions and projects related to the conflict in Israel-Palestine, whether it be from the Israeli side or from the Palestinian side. Yet we are lacking an arena which will bring together these efforts and act as a mediating space in which people can meet and disagree or reason. Such a national project can serve as a crucial link between South Africa and the Middle East, representing South Africa's ethos and values in the international forum. It could coordinate the humanitarian aid, fostering connections between South Africa and Middle East civil society organizations, and ensure South Africa's successful transition to democracy through program and mentoring initiative supporting the local peace-building efforts. Internally, such a commission could bring together a public council, a public opinion within South Africa, an inclusive body, gathering the diverse perspective about Israel-Palestine conflict through regular meeting, through public program. This commission could educate South Africa about the ongoing peace process, to inspire future generations to contribute through volunteer and study program in the region, and ultimately to strive to be a reliable source of information and a driving force for progress toward peace and reconciliation in the Middle East. Dear friends from all creeds, from political convictions, from ranks of life, from race and gender orientation, the divine image we all share has a moral imperative that arises from it, and it urges us to be and to act so that suffering will decrease, so that human dignity would increase. And may we, through our conscious, through our spiritual growth, to our compassionate yet firm activism, contribute to the fulfillment of the ancient Hebrew prophecy, Isaiah 2:4. He will judge between the nations and he will settle disputes for the many people. They will beat their swords into plowshare, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not fight again, nor shall they learn of war. Amen. So be it. Shalom. Peace. Salam. God be with you.